Hey, so if you're running a business but making decent money, but you still feel like you're on the treadmill working all hours under the sun, this video is probably for you. Today I'm going to walk through exactly how we turned a tired commercial building into a cash flowing value added asset, something that works for us while we sleep. I'll show you exactly how we approached it, both strategically and tactically, so you can stop scrolling Rightmove and hoping for a unicorn deal and actually build something that supports lifestyle long term. Look, making money online, running a service business is great. It can be fragile. What happens if you're away for a couple of months, or if you have to stop work, if you get injured, or if you're not able to work? Property, when it's done right, can buy back your time and give you peace of mind and give you something that doesn't need your daily input. But most people dive in blind or follow people who are more interested in showing off than teaching people how to do things. So the project that I'm going to talk you through today wasn't an easy project, but it was structured. We did de-risk it, and we did it with a clear outcome in mind, which was to create a low effort, strong return asset that fits our lifestyle and our values. So let's walk through the deal. It was a commercial building that had a lapse planning application. We bought it in 2022 and renewed planning on it. The planning application previously that we renewed was for 4 residential units upstairs, but retaining the commercial on the ground floor. So it was a mixed use building. We bought it off market. So we found the owner online through the land registry. We reached out to him through Facebook. He replied to us and we viewed it, and then things went from there. We actually put an offer in about 6 months before he accepted it, and we thought he'd gone quiet, but he came back to us after 6 months and said he was interested in selling, and he wanted to take the funds out of it to fund something else. So it made sense for him and it made sense for us, which was great. So the figures on it it was a £250,000 purchase. So fully commercial building. Obviously there's reduced stamp on commercial, and obviously we plan to convert it to residential. But yeah, we paid £250,000 for it. In terms of works, we've spent £619,000, which is a hell of a lot of money. But the little bonus on this scheme was that we had grant funding from Welsh Gov, which was £220,000, which, as long as we kept the building for 5 years, means that we don't actually have to pay any of that grant back. So and we've recently just had the valuation back for completion, and we've had a £995,000 valuation, which means we've done great. We've added, although we added £600,000 worth of work to it, worth of value, we've still got a nigh on £1 million building, which is great for us. So there were a few key decisions that we focused on that made this project work. We wanted to ensure we bought the freehold of the building. We didn't want leasehold. We had targeted mixed use area with planning precedent. So we wanted to make sure that we had a building that would be let commercially, even though we had residential spaces upstairs that we were confident in. Then the commercial element was is a great bonus to have let. So we wanted to make sure that was the case. We really value engineered the works, although we spent, like I said, we spent £600,000, was a lot of money on this building. We did think about where we could value engineer stuff, leaving things in place. We had a 2 foot thick old stone wall that was in this building that was planned to be taken out and replaced with a steel. It would have saved 2 foot across maybe 2 or 3 rooms in one of the flats, and the flats are already 74 square meters, which, if you know your square meterage, they're quite big flats. So it didn't make sense to, spend probably a week or two's worth of time and energy taking that wall out and disposing of that wall to replace it with steel when it was perfectly functional as it was. So there was value engineering in it. And we had to leverage experience through our contacts and through our network to be able to work on this project remotely and be able to fulfill it to its best potential. So yeah, if you're watching this and you're thinking, I don't want to be a landlord, but I do want to build long-term income from my property, then that's exactly the type of people I work with. I run a private coaching service. I work with a handful of people at any one time, and it's for purpose-led, values-based professionals who want to grow a hands-off, scalable portfolio. It's not a course, it's strategic support, it's hand-holding, and if you're serious, then you can drop me a message or check out the link below and book a no no pressure call. So heading back to the project, here's what we didn't do, and I can see where most investors do mess up. We didn't overpay, chasing the idea of a crazy yield. So we had the building at a good price. We didn't manage the builders directly. We had an architect project manager manage them, and a system to follow with that architect who acted as project manager. We didn't rush into a location that we didn't understand. It was relatively local to us. We knew the building, we knew the area. And we didn't treat it like a flip, you know, it was always going to be a long-term hold. So we invested in it. We've done the right things. The structure of the building was great, but that was almost the only thing that remained following our work. So we've renewed everything. You know, there's at least 25, 30 year lifespan, probably more like 50 to 100 year lifespan on this building. Now we've done the works. So why this strategy works is basically because it gives you control back. You can turn tired commercial buildings into strong cash flow in residential assets. You can buy them below market, you can add real value, and you can refinance out if you need it, and you can hold it forever if you can buy right. The right deals don't come from hope, they come from systems and work. You have to have the right criteria and the right people around you to help you execute. It's not something easy, and it's not something that people do on a whim, but it is certainly possible. How this can fit into a long-term plan. We're not doing 10 of these a year. You know, there's a lot of money that goes into these things, and you probably could, but it would burn me out, and it would probably burn most people out if they were doing 10 of these at any one time. But if you do 1 or 2 a year, then they compound really quick. You know, we're adding £1 million per project here, so you're adding £2 million a year over a 10-year period, then that compounds pretty quickly. And also the cash flow from these buildings are great because of the additional residential. This building will cash flow about £90,000 a year. Sorry, that's not cash flow, that's income generated, is £90,000 a year. We will refinance an element of this building, so our cash flow from it will probably be around £45,000 a year. But like you said, if you get through 10 of those or 20 of those over a 10-year period, then that's some great cash flow and great asset value. So that's what I want for myself and for the people I work with. I don't want hundreds of thousands of poor quality units. I don't want loads of stress. I just want real quality buildings that support a great quality of life too. So if you're someone who wants that kind of freedom, they want to spend time with your family, you want space to build something that lasts, but you don't want to become a property manager or chase, 8% yields across the country, then this approach might be for you. Let's book a call, let's have a no pressure chat. But if you can subscribe and follow below, then I'll be sharing more deal breakdowns, more strategy walkthroughs, and tips for designing a lifestyle first portfolio without all the bullshit. So thanks for watching. I'm Josh, and this is what I believe property should be: clarity, freedom, and building something that lasts.